It's kind of scripted. Hey, it's kind of scripted. Good morning to you. Hope y'all are having an amazing morning. Let's get this thing started. Our reading today came from Ephesians. We got a couple Ephesians today, actually, but we're going to start off with Ephesians 4:15 through 16. It's talking about instead we will speak the truth in love, growing in every way more and more like Christ, who is the head of his body, the church. He makes the whole body fit together perfectly as each part does its own special work. It helps the other parts to grow so that the whole body is healthy and growing and full of love, right? And so what would Jesus do? WWJD is a real thing. It is a real thing. It is literally our equation, right? It is literally the equation we use for people development, right? The reading says that, in Ephesians 4:5 and 6, it says there is one Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God, and one Father of all. But here's the thing. It also says who is over all, who is in all, and who is living through all, right? There is one Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God, one Father of all, who is over all, who is in all, who is living through all. We serve a living God. God is alive and well if you bleed, right? When we understand the power we have, we would understand the importance of having a model like Jesus, right? Those who study the Bible recognize Jesus as God on earth. We recognize Jesus as God who took on the physical form for the well-being of humanity. Understanding this concept, we also realize that if we seek to be like Jesus, act like Jesus, lead like Jesus, believe like Jesus, love like Jesus, and think like Jesus, then we are actually seeking to behave like our God on earth would. When we understand that as God on earth, Jesus operated and executed with an authority that was of I can do all things. If we seek to be like Jesus, act like Jesus, talk like Jesus, right, then we are being the person necessary to do all things as well, because there is one Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God and Father of all, who is over all, in all, living through all. So again, when we understand, right, when we understand that our mission, what WWJD, right, that movement's real. When we understand if we seek to be like Jesus, act like Jesus, talk like Jesus, right, we're doing what's necessary. We're doing what's necessary to be and operate in that same spirit, right? God is alive and well. He's alive and well. God lives in us. And when we realize who we really are and seek to model our example of God on earth, we can tap into that same power that Jesus operated with. Remember, Jesus taught his disciples, right? He taught his disciples to go preach. He taught his disciples to go heal the sick. Though we recognize Jesus as God on earth, he wasn't the only one capable of performing miracles, right? When we think about miracle workers, we always think about Jesus, right? But Jesus, the reading says that Jesus went and trained 12 disciples to go out, preach the word, and heal the people, right? Teach the word and heal the people. So to tap into it, we must seek to model the one who is the greatest example of a human executing and operating in their spirit, and that's Jesus. Right? So let us simply stop fantasizing over Jesus, right? And let us actually start doing the work to be more and more like Jesus so we can learn to use the power like he taught the disciples to use their power, right? When we as a kingdom work as a unit and as a team, all while operating in our I am power, we position ourselves to change and impact the world by doing the work of God. Believe that God is in us. Believe that God is in you. Believe that God wants to show up through you. Believe that God gave you a unique set of skills that can add value to the kingdom, right? If we do what it takes to develop those skills and be intentional in being and becoming more and more like the best example of a human executing with and within their creator's power, we will have a team with various different talents working with this type of energy. When there's a team working in this type of energy, we can empower the world and leave a significant legacy of hope in the future, right? But we have to start being. We got to stop fantasizing. We got to start being, right? Because again, Jesus taught the 12 disciples how to go out there and preach, right, and heal people. So guess what? Jesus also said, if you actually believe, you would do the same great works he did, right? If not more. We miss out on that because we get caught fantasizing, right? We get caught fantasizing, so we miss out on that. But there's work to be done. And Jesus is the model. He's the model, right? Don't reinvent the wheel. Follow the model. WWJD is a real thing. It's a real thing. And that's how we people develop. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. It's kind of scripted. Let's be intentional about creating our heaven on earth. And the way that we do that is learning how, first of all, understanding who we are. Once we understand who we are, we then model, right, the greatest example of that on this earth, right? And then we'll be able to tap into our power and tell that mountain to move. And I appreciate y'all. It's kind of scripted. Peace.